Up your phone and call right now. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. Once again, that's 800-932-5517.
Hi, folks. Good afternoon. It's Fifth Street Sports here, coming to you from Sports Byline SB Nation Radio Network. We have Florida Rick, Oklahoma Brian, and myself, Frank Perez. We got a great show for you today. You got the three amigos in the house, and I know they're a little bit down. I mean, especially Rick. He's a little bit down south, and I know that hurricane hit very strong over there. I hope everything's cool. But, guys, today I'm going to throw this one at you. I was just thinking about it. We got the Eagles are at the Giants. This game's moved 2.5, almost 3 points. What's going on with this thing?
Frank, I think we gave this one out yesterday when it was still 3, dog 15, dog 20. It's now down to pick 'em or 1. And unfortunately, you missed a couple of key numbers if you didn't get on it yesterday. As for the teasers, that's the other thing we're going to talk about today. That hurts the teaser bettors as well. Brian was going to talk about that.
Yeah, Brian. You know, I was thinking about you in this game. I know that you got to be like your fingers got to be a little bit numb right now, waiting for that 1.5 to get back on the Giants, so you can bring Wong in the house, right?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Wong needs to enter the house early. You see a game like this, you have any indication it's going to move. If you have the ability to play open teasers, that's really your cue. Yesterday was your kind of signal to go load up the open teasers. This is the game you got to put in there. We'll talk about that a little bit more after the break. But Frank, this is going to be a very long weekend. And the party starts tonight. We're going to kick it off with some teasers on the Giants. I think it's actually a great teaser play. I'm a little worried that too many people. It's worrisome when you see everybody on the same side. I'm not sure this is really public money as much as it is a couple really sharp guys that bet big money. But we'll talk about that.
Yeah, you know, like
after the break.
I was going to ask you, when we come back from the break, Brian, I wanted you to explain, because all week I know you had this game circled as a junior Wong when it was on a 3. But when we come back,
it was a junior Wong.
It was. So when we come back from this thing, I got a question for you, how you would play this thing if it stays 1. So, folks, it's Fifth Street Sports. Frank Perez, Oklahoma Brian, and Florida Rick will be right back. Stay tuned.
Hey travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip, or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1780. 855-325-1780. That's 855-325-1780.
Where do you want to go on a vacation or honeymoon? The Caribbean, Europe, Hawaii, Mexico? How about Disney or a cruise? At Superior Cruise and Travel, we've got you covered. We'll assign you your own travel concierge. They'll help you design a custom vacation plan that you can't find online. And the service is completely free. You can't compare the value of this to any other online travel company. We can help you plan a custom vacation anywhere in the world. We even offer payment plans with no credit card required. Now you pay off your vacation on your time schedule. Call now and mention the promo code RADIO and save up to $500. Book your custom trip. Call Superior Cruise and Travel now and talk to one of the highest rated travel agencies in the country with a 5-star A+ online rating.
800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. That's 800-570-9631.
Drowning in IRS debt? If you can't afford to pay your IRS debt due to economic hardship, you can now be free of IRS collection efforts by taking advantage of a special IRS tax hardship program. This program allows Americans who owe the IRS to resolve their delinquent tax debt once and for all. In some cases, maybe even reducing what you owe significantly. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Simply dial 800-426-3569. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back or have years of unfiled tax returns, help is standing by. Just call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-426-3569 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-426-3569 to see if you qualify. That's 800-426-3569.
Folks, it's Fifth Street Sports. We're back. We're on Sports Byline, SB Nation Radio Network. We also want to say a nice hello and a thank you to the American Forces Network, you guys. Thank you very much. And to anyone affected by Hurricane Michael, our prayers are with you. We hope you're safe. All right, here's what we're getting to, Brian, because, you know, on this show, you are the Wong Grandmaster. Now, this was a game that you had circled early in the week as a junior Wong when it was a 3. So what does a player of your Wong Grandmaster ability do when this game falls all the way back through the Wong number down to a 1?
Yeah. Well, hopefully the one thing a guy like me doesn't do is fall asleep on the game and miss my chance to hit the 2s, the 2.5s, the 1.5s, which are really kind of our sweet spot if we're going for a for the longest payout. When we talk about a Wong Jr., a lot of people ask, what's a Wong Jr.? Well, a Wong teaser, if it's played correctly, we're trying to move through the numbers 3 and 7. So we're trying to basically tee off on when the game is 1.5, 2, 2.5, and push that spread with a 6-point teaser up to 7.5, 8, and 8.5. Now, here's the thing. Wongs have gotten so profitable, and if you can still find a bookie who's paying you really juicy odds, and I'm talking about getting 3-1 on a 4-team 6-point NFL teaser, and also where ties reduce, and ideally the ability to put in open spots, which is really that's the biggest game changer of all, is the ability to put in open spots. You get to a weekend like this, we're going into week 6 in the NFL. There's a ton of Wong eligible games this week. And in that situation, sometimes it's a little bit worthwhile to diversify your portfolio and maybe not have everything riding on. Well, if you count the Wong Juniors, there's almost 10 games in the NFL that are Wongable this week. So a Wong Jr. is simply a game that we're betting up from 3 to 9. It doesn't meet the pure Wong requirements, but it's pretty darn close. And if your payoff is good and you got a lot of other good games to put it with, then I think it's worth playing a Wong Jr. Now this game is down to 1. So your question at this point is, hey, do I wait and hope the game goes up to 1.5 at game time? I mean,
right.
We are talking about the defending Super Bowl champions. There should be some public money on this Eagles team. Do we do that, or do we just buy the half point? And if we buy the half point, we're talking about considerably reduced payoff on our teasers. If we were getting plus 300, most likely now we're getting plus 250. And that's a tough question. I'll ask Rick, what do you do when you're in that situation? Are you inclined to buy the half point? Or are there situations where you want to buy the half point? How do you usually handle that?
Well, we've talked about this multiple times in the past, and I'm adamantly against buying those half points and teasers. Half points typically are worth between 10 and 20 cents, maybe 25 cents in the NFL on 3, and now you're looking at a payoff of 50 cents worse than what you'd be getting if you got the regular line. So at this point, I would just wait, and there's always the possibility too that the line will actually move up to Giants -1.5. And if that's the case, now you can Wong Philadelphia, and we've done that multiple times this year, and I think we've pretty much hit every time, right?
Didn't quite work out last weekend. Thank you, Mason Crosby. Should have. The Packers should have been a great long, but we got Crosby. I'll say this though, and an argument in favor of buying the half point. Here's a weekend where if you only had one game, in other words, if you had a 4-team teaser and the half point was only going to make a difference on one particular play, one leg of the 4 teams, then absolutely don't do it. It's a terrible buy. This particular weekend, though, you've got a lot of other games that could use that extra half point to get across the finish line. I'm thinking specifically of Carolina, and there's one. I don't know.
How about Pittsburgh? Like you can take Pittsburgh to 9. You can take Oakland to 9. I mean, I know it's not a big deal from 8.5 to 9, but at least you're getting something. You know what I mean?
No. I would never buy that half point. Going from 8.5 to 9 is a waste.
No. I mean,
the games are on ones.
Right. No, I mean, if you're using this game, if you need a 6.5 in this game, at least in those games, you got a little bit of value, not much, but a little bit. You know what I mean?
That's a given. No, you have to have other plays. But what I'm saying is there are several games in the NFL that are on 1 this week, not just one. Right. I know that Carolina's 1, and I want to say Tennessee maybe is 1. Off the top of my head, I don't know.
Let me get
but if you've got a chance to make that half point work, because remember, if you buy a half point on a teaser, you don't just get it on one game. You get it on all 4 games of your 4-team teaser.
Well, yeah, so, Brian, how about this? You can use it, and you can take your Rams down. Oh no, that's a 7. Hey, but
no, you don't want to. Watch out for that Rams game. That's a terrible teaser play this week. I think.
Okay, Brian, I got somebody just wrote in for you, and they said Oklahoma. Brian, I guess you're the Wong Master General here. Brian, how come you never mentioned the 3-teamers at +180? On the Wong.
Okay. Yeah, so 3-teamers at +180. It's a good play. It's the next best play for most players. I mean, technically, your 5-teamers at a good payoff is even better, but no one typically that's not one that players typically mess with. So yeah, +180 would be your next logical play, and that's still a good play. If I don't have access to 4-teamers at +3 to 1, I'm gonna tee off on the 3-teamers at +180. So yeah, good play if you have it. If you don't have the ability to get open teasers, you should ask for it. Bookmakers are usually, if you're a good customer, you've paid in the past, they want to keep you. Tell them, hey, I got someone else that's letting me have open spots. I'd like to have them with you. And all the software, all the sites allows it. Just a question of, is the bookmaker motivated enough to go and turn it on for you? And hey, if they like you, they will.
Hey, guys, here's one for you, Rick. Jimbo Mullins, I'm from 5th Street Social. By the way, we are on Facebook.com/5th Street Sports Talk. But Jimbo Mullins just wrote in, I noticed my local book has high school football lineup tonight. Do you guys ever bet high school football, and do you have any opinions tonight? Yikes,
okay, well,
Chris,
first of all,
that seems to be up your alley.
It's Thursday night. I guess there's high school football on Thursdays. It's usually a Friday phenomenon. Jimbo Mullins, you're an animal.
Yeah, how about he just asked you about Texas State tonight +17.5. So now you got 2 in the hopper for Jimbo.
Wow, Jimbo's eager. We should just bring Jimbo on the show. We need a 4th.
I would love to. Yeah, I would love to have Jimbo on the show. I mean, Billy would be great too. But this guy's a real animal. High school football. Wow.
I'm telling you, I have a theory that Jimbo Mullins is like 12 or 13 years old. But let's take the high school football question first. High school football. This is a great
I assume
one.
he has to be talking about that game in California, right, Brian?
That's what I have in mind. But let me first set this high school football scenario up. This used to be quite common. Used to see a lot of high school football lines up. And this was back when there wasn't as much consolidation in the industry. Paperhead Skins had more of a regional feel to them. I've actually tried to get high school football up myself. And the problem that a lot of places have is if, say, a local bookmaker in Arkansas is able to put up a big Arkansas football game on their site, a lot of times that same game ends up in other skins around the country. So you might have a bookmaker in California that ends up with the same skin, and his players are asking, why in the world are we betting Arkansas football? On top of that, the lines are hard to get really accurate. You don't want to take a big bet. These things can move. They can be manipulated, but you do see them from time to time. I had a bookmaker last year that put up Narbonne high school football in California every week. And I swear to God, by the end of the year, I was reading articles on this high school trying to handicap them because I had nothing better to do on Friday evenings. But in terms of this matchup, yeah, I've actually seen this. I think the line's around 10 and a half.
Brian, hold that thought. I can't wait to hear this when we come back from the break. It's Fifth Street Sports. Stay tuned. Brian's going to finish up his high school football. We'll be right back. Fifth Street Sports. Thank you.
Want to fly somewhere? Looking for cheap flights or cheap tickets? Then call. That's right. Call the low-cost airline travel hotline now for prices so low we can't publish them anywhere. Low-cost airlines has all kinds of cheap travel deals. Fly domestically and save up to 75%. You can even fly internationally and save even more. Yes, fly anywhere in the world and save a lot of money on your plane tickets. We'll even save you money with cheap travel deals on hotels, rental cars, even complete travel packages. So don't book your tickets until you call us first for the absolute cheapest prices on U.S. and international airline tickets and hotels. Call right now for prices so low they can't be published. Travel experts are here 24/7 to help. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. That's 800-754-4531.
In times of economic uncertainty and chaos, your money means nothing. You may not even be able to get it from your bank or ATM. And the money you do have in the stock market will go down and down. What you can bank on is gold and silver. Gold and silver have been a reliable and trusted form of currency for thousands of years. Gold and silver have never been worth zero, and typically gold holds its value during economic turmoil. Call the Gold Hotline now and learn how to protect your money and your assets with gold and silver. And learn how to set up a new IRA or roll over your current one into a gold-backed IRA. Protect your money from the next market crash with gold and silver. Call now for your free gold guide.
800-535-7789. 800-535-7789. 800-535-7789. That's 800-535-7789.
Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Clapper, Chief of Orthopedic Surgery at Cedars-Sinai Medical Group in Los Angeles, California. Dedicated to your health, your life, and your sports. As a weekend warrior, you know about sports injuries and pain. Exercise is an important element in keeping your body's core in good shape to minimize sports injuries. But when you are in pain, there is one product that I recommend to my patients, and that is Blue Goo Gel. Blue Goo consists of a proprietary formula developed specifically for the treatment of inflammation and general muscle aches and strains. I recommend Blue Goo for my patients coping with hip and knee pain before surgery, especially bursitis and tendinitis. Give Blue Goo a try. Call 1-888-330-0123 and you'll receive a 1-week supply of Blue Goo absolutely free. The makers of Blue Goo are even paying the shipping. The number again is 1-888-330-0123. If you want more information on Blue Goo, visit online at www.dothegoo.com.
Now available at select Big 5 stores near you.
Hi, folks. We're back here on Fifth Street Sports on the Sports Byline SB Nation Radio Network, also on the American Forces Network. Brian, Oklahoma Brian, you were finishing off a question here with Jimbo Mullins was asking you about betting this high school football, and you were getting into a real interesting story. Let's bring that back.
Yeah. So last year, I had a book. I guess he must be based ultimately out of California, and he had Narbonne, which I think is in the Long Beach area, but I'm not even sure. Had their games up every week last year.
It's in the South Bay area. It's Narbonne.
Oh, is it?
Narbonne.
What's it called?
Narbonne in the South Bay area.
Okay.
Narbonne.
All right. So
like they got that. Like a big day for them is like they still have the quarter pinball games and they go bowling, and that's like a huge night. South Bay area.
Okay.
Sounds like a fun night.
Yeah.
So anyways, this particular team, or this particular game that Rick mentioned, I looked it up just now. You're right. It was the 1 and 2 teams. Actually, this particular team, by the way, was in LA. It's Narbonne. It's in the LA area. And I guess they were really good. And I don't know much more about that other than I think I lost more than I won trying to bet their games last year. Now, in terms of this week's game, the number 1 and 2 teams in the country played. Rick, do you know anything about this game? I just looked up the line just now, and it is offered at quite a few sites.
I don't really know anything more than the names of the schools, which we know the schools because they're very prominent in high school football over the years. St. John Bosco and Santa Ana Mater Dei. And if you look at their alums, they both have, probably 100 or more alums that will know if they've played major college football, as well as a bunch that have played, professional sports as well. So these are 2 all-male Catholic schools in the LA area. I believe one's in LA County, one's in Orange County. And, this game's been hyped up that so many books now are offering this line under high school football.
Wow.
When you type, so obviously that's got to be what Jimbo's talking about, because I've noticed at least 5 or 6 already of ours that are offering high school football. I mean, they only take limits of $100 usually, but
I just came up with something, especially because I think you guys are 2 libs, right? Let's and I know you guys are pro paying college players. You guys I know you guys like the idea of college players making money. So if that's the fact, and now if they're taking action on high school football and it's so huge and big, how far do you go down? Do you pay high school players too?
You should. I believe so. Absolutely.
Well, how about JV? How about the JV? I mean, how far when you open up this can that you guys want to open up on paying amateur athletes money, how far do you go down? I mean, do you go down to like Golden Gloves in boxing? How far do you take this?
As far as we can have an edge in betting, I would take it all the way to toddlers. In candy, if I thought I could get a little of an edge in terms of getting my my bets in. So this, but back to high school football.
Okay.
This particular game, it's 10.5. Here's what I would say. I would treat this just like any other exhibition recreational sport. If you see this thing start to move, because it's going to take, some one-way action for this thing to move. If you see this thing go from 10.5 to 11.5 to 12.5, hey, I'd probably chase the steam and lay a little bit of a bad number. Typically, this is the kind of game where it's not going to land on the number. This is not a sharp line. So I would treat this the same way I treat an NBA preseason or a WNBA game. You know what I would use if I had it in my tool chest? This is the ultimate game for a pleaser, right? Use pleasers typically on games that aren't close. Okay. This would be a pleaser spot. Do you agree, Rick?
Books are going to let you tease this, please this, or parlay this. So I would, if you're lucky enough, you can just get a bet on it. And most likely, like I said, you'll get $100 limits at best, maybe $250 limits.
Hey, well, I mean, do they have a total on this game?
Yes. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah, they do. It's 60.5. If we have any listeners that have, maybe counting the snaps per game of St. John's Bosco.
I would go under. I would definitely go under in any high school football game. Definitely.
You gotta love
especially the 2 top teams in the country.
Yeah, come on. Hey, we got one from Billy Donlin here. He says, what do you think of game 201 Michigan State plus 13.5 versus Penn State? Are they a live underdog? When the season started, everyone thought they were a top 20 team. Gosh, you guys, what's your take on that?
Well, I think they need to win the game or their coach is done. But I think I really like Penn State in the spot. They're coming off a bye week. This is typically a good spot when you see ranked teams coming off a loss in a bye week. That's typically a really strong scenario. I don't necessarily like Michigan State in this game at all. But that's just my thought. I curious to hear.
I'm with you, Brian.
Think, Rick.
I'm completely with you. I think this line is actually low, and Penn State. If we were going to talk about some of our chalk this weekend, that would have been one of the games I would choose. Is Penn State. I think this line is low. I think Penn State is playing, for a possible playoff berth. Michigan State season's done. This also goes back to the old, conservative coach who really has no business being around anymore, and that's what Mark D'Antonio has now fallen into. So I think this game will be covered by halftime, and you'll be easing through it in the second half, especially the fourth quarter.
So there you go, Billy. The two experts over here in college football don't like it. And that's the way it goes. Back to this high school football line. Do they have a first half line on this? I mean, who's going to score first? Is there any props?
They should. There was an era in our industry where you saw a lot of this around like 2002. I want to say this was rampant. You would see lines all over the place. Little League World Series was a big one. You remember that, Rick? When everybody would bet on the Little League World Series, that was like it was a combination of fun and just complete sickness that every book would let you bet on back in the day, and it became a little bit of a liability where books, I think, were afraid they were going to attract scrutiny from congressmen that were trying to scrutinize the industry, crack down on the industry. They felt like it was putting an unnecessary target on them. So you saw a lot of books start to back away from that over the last 10 or 15 years. But
Brian,
I love it.
I've been wanting to ask you that now that you mentioned Little League World Series. They used to have, I think over at Five Dimes in a couple places, they used to have totals on these Little League World Series games, right? And you know how we always mention rules and Vegas rules or what applied? Okay, so you have the under, or let's say you have the over or the under in a Little League World Series game, and they have that one rule, what is it, like a 10-run rule? Like if once you're losing by 10 runs or more, they call the game. So if not, it goes 7 innings. So in the 5th inning, or when they call it the slaughter rule, if they call the game, and does your total get canceled?
Right. Okay. I can tell you, no matter what you think the right answer is, most books are going to grade this in a manner that's most convenient to them. Right. And then they're going to tell you, go check Las Vegas rules. Las Vegas rules apply. Well,
there is no Little League World Series in Vegas. They don't take action on it.
For that matter, there are no Las Vegas rules. But I would say, in the spirit of every other sport, if they don't play the full game, then the total should have no action. That's what I believe, objectively speaking. I don't know. What do you think, Rick?
I think in Little League World Series, it has to count, because if the 10-run rule applies, most likely the total is under 10 or at least 10 at the most. So they have to apply it because it's going to go 5 innings instead of the 6 or 7 like Rankin. There's a difference between getting called because of rain and getting called because of the slaughter rule. So I think in those instances they would count it. But again, I don't remember ever being in that situation. Although I'm surprised we weren't. But I don't remember ever being in that situation before.
There's a similar rule in football when you're playing an FCS or a 1AA school. And I think the betting rules have changed, but up until last year, if let's say Florida State was playing FAMU, and in the second half, let's say they're beating them like 67-0 at halftime, they would agree to not play the full. They would truncate the game and have a shortened version of the game. Wow. And bettors knowing this would know that there really isn't a scenario that you're better off actually betting the dog, because if you actually were on the favorite and they were kind of outperforming the spread by a noticeable margin, the game gets cut off and you had no action. Therefore, the underdog actually was a better play because you had a more complete subset of. I don't know if that makes sense, but it was a scenario that favored betting underdogs. Whereas, in other words, if the favorite was really kicking butt, then the game gets canceled or closed early, and you don't cover or you don't have action.
Hey guys, I hate to bring you back to this, but it looks like we're going to have to step up to the plate. We have 2 or 3 people that wrote in, and they said, okay, they really like the Wong stuff, but the Eagles are playing the Giants tonight. There's going to be light rain, maybe heavy rain. Totals 44. Gosh, we got a minute too, because they actually want our opinion on the game, over and under and the spread. Both now we got a minute. So
well, we don't need to rush that in a minute. We'll get to that in the next segment because I think it's a good point. I'll look at some stuff during the break, and let's tackle that after the commercial.
Yeah, because they said like that's great on the teasers, but they actually want your straight up opinion on the total and the side. And don't forget there is forecast of pretty good rains out there.
We'll knock that out after the commercial, and let's get to a little chalkboard action as well.
God, I hate the chalkboard, you guys. I used to hate it in high school. I used to hate it in junior high. There's nothing worse than the chalkboard when it comes to betting, because that's when you got to lay a price or points, and that's the opposite of what we like doing. Stay tuned. Fifth Street Sports. We'll be back very shortly.
It has been said that everyone has a book in them. But do you have the time or the ability to write your book? Maybe you picked up some skills or had a life experience that you want to pass on in the form of a book to help others. Maybe you want to leave an autobiography for your family. Or maybe you've built a successful business and you want to share your story. At Dorrance Publishing Company, we have professional writers who can help turn your book idea into a finished manuscript quickly and affordably. A Dorrance ghostwriter can provide as much or as little help as you need to complete your book. You'll work directly with your ghostwriter to finish your book faster than you ever could on your own. It's easy to become a published author. Call Dorrance now to learn more. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. Call right now. That number is 800-485-6003.
If you are age 85 or younger, call to learn more about final expense plans from a licensed agent in the Angel Care Network. The average funeral now costs over $10,000. Are you at risk of leaving loved ones to help pay your debts? A final expense policy for seniors can pay up to $30,000 for funeral and other final expenses. You don't need a medical exam, and you can have lifetime coverage, and the policy cannot be canceled. To receive free information about final expense plans from a licensed agent in the Angel Care Network, call now. You'll also receive information about a free prescription discount card just for calling in. Agents are standing by.
Call 800-508-5774. 800-508-5774. 800-508-5774. Call now. That's 800-508-5774.
If you or someone you love suffers from drug addiction, now is the time to utilize your private health insurance PPO plan. If eligible, receive up to $30,000 or more in substance abuse benefits with low or no out-of-pocket cost. We are the National Treatment Network, the premier drug and alcohol treatment referral service operating 24/7. We help connect you with facilities nationwide that accepts PPO private health insurance for substance abuse. If you have PPO substance abuse coverage and you need immediate admittance to a medical detox or residential rehab treatment center, call us now. Call our live referral helpline today. The call is free. This program is not available to Medicare or Medicaid customers.
Call 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. That's 800-296-1252.
Fifth Street Sports, we're back. It's Oklahoma Brian, Florida Rick, and Frank Perez here. We are on the Sports Byline SB Nation Radio Network, also on the American Forces Network. Well, we were talking about you guys. It looks like we can't get out of it. We have hey, hang on a second here. This is for Florida Rick. Wow, Rick, these guys are really coming in at you, buddy. Florida Rick, since you're on the pulse in Miami, what do you think of 117 Miami minus 6.5 at Virginia?
Actually, Frank, that was one of the games I almost used yesterday. I am big on Virginia. I think Virginia is going to be in this game, and I almost expect them to win this game. If not, I expect to go down to the final gun, and someone will win, eke it out by field goal or a couple points. So I'm actually glad you asked that question because I wanted to get to that game yesterday, but we kind of ran out of time.
So if you had to bet this now, you would lay the 6.5?
Oh, Virginia. No.
Take Virginia. You would take 6.5. Oh, good. That was one of your puppies, right?
It was one of them if we had a couple more to use, but it just missed the cut. I was going to use it if we had another 5 minutes, but we ran out of time.
Do the puppies that don't get adopted, do they get euthanized or what happens? You never told us what happens to those puppies, Frank.
Oh, I hate that word. I love dogs more than breathing. I think, if you want a friend, you buy a dog. That's the truth. Hey, but Brian, that's fun and everything, but we have a person. Andrew just gave me a sign over here. We have a person that says you're on the hot seat. It looks like they really want to bet. They want your opinion on tonight's game, side and total. Side and total.
I'm not sure who asked that question, but great question. So we were looking at this during the commercial. I totally missed this game, and I actually talked about the concept of Hurricane Michael impacting this game. I thought the hurricane was going to move either too fast or too slow and wasn't going to impact this game, but it looks like it's going to impact this game. We're going to have 10 to 15 mile an hour winds with gusts over 20, potentially 100% chance of rain. It's going to be raining the entire game. In terms of your value, the game opened around 45, I think. It's 44 now. 70% of the public is on the over. This is a monster, Frank. I love the under in this game. And I just, sometimes you just fall asleep, don't notice things like this. So whoever pointed that out, thanks for asking the question. I actually bet the game during the commercial. So I like this game a lot. And hey,
me too.
Thanks for the question. And I think it's a good play.
How about you, Rick? What do you think about this? I love this under too.
I think under's a monster as well. It checks off every single box. We got reverse line movement. The line opened 45. It's been down to 44 with 70% of the public being on the over. We got, as Bryce said, 15 to 25 mile per hour wind gusts during the game, an effect from Hurricane Michael. Rain during the whole game. A Thursday night game, which notoriously is known to be unders with a short week of preparation. Philadelphia, who's been a complete inept offense over this last couple of weeks, right. With a defense who's been rock solid. The Giants have been in close games. This is a home game, on Thursday night. It just has every single marking of an under. The only way I see this game going over are interception touchdowns, kickoff return touchdowns, turnovers, right. Deep in their own territory. Other than that, this game looks like a 13-10 type of game.
And then throw in the fact that throw in the fact that Jay Ajayi is out for the year, right? So you're going to have a different running back stepping up, who potentially doesn't have all of the pass blocking responsibilities, down as much as the first string running back. You got Carson Wentz coming back, who I think you're going to be a little bit hesitant if you're the Eagles coach to throw him back to pass 25 to 30 times. I think you're more likely to want to keep this thing simple, hand the ball off in the rain. Man, everything I can think of points to under in this game. I think it's all in under.
So there you go. That's a Fifth Street prescription. All three of us, 3-0, like the under in this game. As far as the side, you guys, I'd have to take the Eagles just because there's too much money on the Giants. It's a tough game. We're just going to say Wong if you can get to 7.5 either way. Oh, guys, guess what? We got Rockford in the house. That's the call for Rockford. Anybody see this guy? Has anybody seen this guy?
Only the selfie you sent in, Frank. That's it.
That's it?
I can say this, Frank. I've never seen Frank and Rockford ever in the same place at the same time. I'm not trying to raise any conspiracy theories, but it does have to make you wonder.
I don't know. Nobody's okay. Here's Rockford's picks, you guys. Remember, he's been hot. He went 3-2 last week. He aced the board. He's back. I told you I never pee into the wind and I never go against Rockford. Here it is, game 160, Oregon over 57.5, and he likes 198 LSU +8, which that matches Rick. There it is, guys. Rockford's got 5 picks. So now you guys, all right, we gave our opinion. Now let's go to our least favorite subject where we got to go to the chalkboard. Remember when you hated doing that? Remember when you hated doing that in high school, going up to the chalkboard? So I'm going to get mine out of the way because I'm a little bit nauseous laying points or prices. I'll get mine quickly out of the way. New England Patriots -3 or 3.5-ish. I'll lay the points with New England at home Sunday night. Rick, you're on the board, baby.
That's a tough one. I see where you're coming from. I can't touch that game. I mean, I want to be on KC, but I know it's the wrong side. My first favorite, as much as we hate doing this, my first favorite this week is going to be University of Southern California, given -7 against Colorado. I think we talked about this game a little bit yesterday. The public is about 65% on Colorado. The line hasn't moved a few cents in USC's favor. The public loves to be on these cute little teams who kind of show up for the first few weeks and then just get obliterated when they play a powerhouse team. And I expect USC to get this one done.
There you go, Brian. You're up, baby. You're up on the top.
I like that one. That was one of the ones I actually considered yesterday. Okay, all right. I've got really cutting this down to the last second. Okay, I got my first one. I'm going to go with tonight's game with, I think I'm opposite of, so did someone say they like Texas State tonight? I don't.
I think it was Jimbo with the 17.5.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Jimbo. I like Georgia Southern, but I'm not going to lay 17.5 quite now because if I lay 18.5, it's really the same bet. So ultimately, I like Georgia Southern, but if I like them, no reason to bet the 17.5 now. Wait for this thing to maybe come down to 17. But I do like the side, and I've seen a lot of sharp accounts on this side this week.
Well, you guys, I'm gonna throw you guys a play right now that you're gonna need a barf bag for this one. But this is what I would do on my chalk. Okay, I would take a 3-team money line parlay in the NFL. Because we're laying chalk, and I know this is sick, and you guys don't throw up yet. Minnesota Vikings on the money line, Houston Texans, and then the Green Bay Packers on Monday night. I would not parlay this, though, on the money line because you'll get much better odds in a 10-point 3-team sweetheart teaser at -$1.10 because they're all 10-point favorites. I think if you parlay this, you'll come down with like a .74 with the money lines, so you're better off taking a 3-team 10-point teaser. But it's hard for me to lay chalk, but that's what I would do. So there's don't laugh yet, you guys. Rick,
no laughing.
You're up, Rick.
Promise.
Okay, I'm going to go with another game that we mentioned yesterday because of one of our viewers wrote in about this game, and the more I see, the stronger it gets. It's Michigan. It's now up to 9.5 at home against Wisconsin. This line opened at 7.5. The public is 65% on Wisconsin. They love betting the dog in this game, and the line's now shot up to from 7.5 to 9.5. I don't think you really lost much value with those numbers. I would still take Michigan at the 9.5 and expect them to roll and probably win this game by 17 to 24 points.
A lot of sharp sides on Michigan. I think you're onto something there. As nauseating as that is. Brian, you're up, brother. What do you like?
Okay, so this sounds like an awfully high number to lay, but I'm going to do it because I have a lot of faith in the coach getting this done for me. I'm going to lay 29.5 on Ohio State at home against the Boat Rowers. I know it sounds gross, doesn't it? I know, it sounds disgusting. Big Ten, this late in the year, how can you lay 30 points? I just happen to really, as much as I despise Urban Meyer as a person, I know he's really great at making sure he covers. Like he'll play his starters as long as he has to cover this, if there's a chance to cover it. And, more power to PJ Fleck and the Boat Rowers. They can row all they want. They're not going to be able to stop Urban Meyer and his obsession with covering big numbers. That's my play. Minus 29.5, Ohio State.
Here's my next play, guys. And Brian, on this one, you're gonna have to take one of your puppies back to the kennel because I know that you like the dog on this one. So I hope they don't euthanize him, but I like this Oklahoma State laying the 7 at Kansas State. I mean, so you can take that dog. That dog is not gonna bark. Something wrong with him. You might have to take him back.
It's the easiest game they have left on the schedule. So for their sake, they better win this game because it gets a lot harder after this game. But this team is in trouble. I think Mike Gundy is going to the shelter himself. He's going to need to find a new home. If somebody out there listening has a place for Mike Gundy, it probably only cost you, I don't know, $2 or $3 million. He'll be looking for a home soon enough. And I think they lose this game, and I think they could lose every game on the rest of their schedule. So
really,
this Oklahoma State team's in big trouble. Yeah, I mean, and it's not like Kansas State's having a great year. They really need to win, and it's no secret they don't want Bill Snyder around any longer than But the problem is he's a legend. He's literally the mascot of the school. I don't see how you could ever fire him. So they're in a tough position. They're stuck with Bill Snyder as long as he cares to stay there. I guess he wants his son to have the job ultimately, but I don't think that's likely to happen.
All right, Rick is up now. Rick, we need one more ugly favorite from you, buddy.
Okay, I'm going to go in the Pac-12 this week, and I'm going to take Washington as a 3.5 point favorite against Oregon. It's on the road, so of course it's tough winning on the road in the Pac-12. We know Chris Peterson is a Milton Berle type of coach and just wants to get the job done. Luckily, usually he's a 17.5 point favorite. He gets the job done, wins by 7. This time they're only a 3-point favorite. He can do his thing and still win by 4 or 5 points, and they're going to cover. The public is just too big on Oregon here at home. I think Oregon's still struggling from that Stanford loss a couple weeks back, and I think Washington will get the job done. As we talked about the other day, I think Washington will end up running the table, but I still don't think they'll make the playoff.
Wow. Okay, Brian, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to go to a team that I've been picking on all year. I think I fade this team every week. I might as well do it again. It's worked out pretty well so far. I'm going to play game 200, Louisiana Lafayette. And you're wondering, they're 7.5 point favorite. You're probably wondering, who could possibly be bad enough to be a 7.5 point dog to Louisiana Lafayette? This might be the only team in the country that could actually do that. It's the New Mexico State. I'm going to lay the 7.5. Sounds like an ugly game. There'll probably be about 100 people in the stands. But I like Lafayette laying 7.5.
Hey, you guys, check this out. We don't have too much time, so I want to sneak this one in because I know it's opposite of what we're talking about, but I seen a really cute little puppy in the corner, and I forgot to talk about him yesterday. I like this Liberty getting 9.5 at home. That's opposite of what we're talking about, but I want to take this little puppy home. Liberty plus 9.5. I'm going to take the 375 on that too.
I like it. It actually moved up a point. I almost used it yesterday. It actually the favorite got bet a little bit overnight. So
hold that thought, Brian. We'll be right back, you guys. We got to go on a break. 5th Street Sports. Stay tuned.
If you or a loved one is suffering from a physical or emotional condition that has left you unable to work, then listen carefully. Take this number down, 800-593-7491. That's 800-593-7491. When you call, you'll speak with a Social Security disability expert and get a free evaluation to see if you may qualify for disability insurance benefits from the U.S. government. That's right, a monthly cash payment paid directly to you from the Social Security Administration. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied disability benefits, call now. The disability attorneys at Pinnacle Disability can help you build your case, file an appeal, and represent you at no upfront cost to you. Don't wait another minute to see if you may qualify for your Social Security disability benefits. Call Pinnacle Disability Group at 800-593-7491 for your free case evaluation. That's 800-593-7491. 800-593-7491. Call now.
Hi, Rick Tittle here. You may know me as the sports talk host that can talk about all sports: football, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, golf, tennis, auto racing, boxing, Olympics, rollerball. But this time I'm here to talk about pain. If you have pain in your knee or your back like I do, then you should know about the Health Alert Hotline. If Medicare is your primary insurance, then you could qualify for a back or knee brace at little or no charge. I have an old injury from my football playing days, and anything that can help take that pain away and make it more manageable, that has my attention. I love the free delivery, and they take care of the paperwork for you. So if you have Medicare and need help for back, ankle, knee, or shoulder pain, please call the Health Alert Hotline at 800-428-1570. That's 800-428-1570. Agents are standing by 24/7, so go ahead and call now. 800-428-1570.
Attention business owners. Are you struggling while waiting for your customers to pay on their net 30, 60, or 90-day invoices? Can't get a business loan? Have no equity? Bad credit? Or maybe no credit at all? Then you need to call AmeriFactors right now. AmeriFactors will give you cash for your invoices and there's nothing to pay back. We simply buy your account receivables, and if those clients don't pay on the invoices, we take the loss. We give you funds based on your account receivables, not your credit, and 98% of all applicants are approved. It's that simple. With AmeriFactors, there's no more waiting for your customers to pay. We give you the funds up front, then we wait for your customers to pay us. Fund your business today. Call AmeriFactors right now.
800-847-1183. 800-847-1183. 800-847-1183. That's 800-847-1183.
We're back, folks, here on 5th Street Sports on Sports Byline, SB Nation Radio Network, and on the American Forces Network. Boy, it's been a really quick show. Time seems to go by so fast, even though I know we weren't having fun laying the chalk. But so you guys, give us one last thoughts on this game tonight. It's a big game. You still like this under? It's getting bet over. I just seen it jamming over.
Well, that's a key number, 44. So that's all the better price for us to go under. I'd love to see it get bet up a little bit.
Yep. Rick, how about you?
I think if you can get a couple points, if it goes back up to 2.5 or so, this is actually probably a good parlay, plus 2.5 under 44. Slightly correlated considering the weather, and these type of games easily land 1 or 2. 2.5 points at this point, at this stage in the NFL is actually quite a bargain.
I like it. Boy, all three of us agree on this under. There you go, guys. That's a heavy prescription from 5th Street Sports, 3-0 on the under. Now, tomorrow, Brian, you know what we got, right? You know you got a 3-game lead in this contest? 3-game lead.
I'm about to widen that. I've been looking. I need to find a yellow jersey that I can wear on Fridays, like the leader in the Tour de France, wears.
Yeah,
I feel like I need to be wearing a yellow jersey on Fridays from here on out.
Look at that. You're up 3 games, and sometimes like the way you're talking right now, I can tell that the beer's back in Oklahoma. But anyways, Rick. So how did you end up? How did Rick's picks do last week? He had 5.
We went 2, which isn't a stellar start, but at least I beat the 0-5 of you over there, Frank. But 2 and 3 is still not acceptable.
I'm going to have to give both of you guys, because this week I've got 5 games. I got the antidote for you guys this week. I'm going to give both of you guys a red card. Minimum yellow cards, but both a red card.
I'm giving you the dreaded vote of confidence, Frank.
Oh, well, we'll be back. Hey, you guys, been a great show. Thank you for listening to us and staying with us here on 5th Street Sports. We are on 1 p.m. Pacific time and 4 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so much from the American Forces Network. Once again, guys, thank you very much. See you tomorrow.